Alright, so in chapter 2 we are talking about arguments, obviously. It's something that sometimes can be unreasonable. That includes thinking. Thinking can be unreasonable, beliefs can be a little bit unreasonable. Facts are important to have in it. So what I really got from this chapter was on page 32, where we talked about the basis of reason in argumentation. And there are 5 starting points that an argument can come from. So the first one is language interpretation strategies. And really what that is it's literally the interpretation through the language. They use the example about how in India they speak English, and in America obviously we speak English. That's our predominant language as well. And just because we have a common language that we understand, that doesn't necessarily mean that we'll agree with each other. So language is commonly referred to as a human symbolic activity, and the words that we use that make up our language don't mean exactly what we're saying. They're arbitrary. So they're symbols for what we're trying to interpret. Other cultures or other places that speak the same language might interpret it differently. So to make sure that language interpretation works best, you want to make sure that you know what you're communicating to that person and also what they're communicating to you to make that argument work. The second one is facts. We pretty much know what facts are, and pretty much the profound differences in what's accepted as a fact is depending on what sphere you're in. So that will really alter it a little bit too. Facts, a lot of a way for someone to believe a fact is the way that you're interpreting it to them, but also facts come from experiments or experience, something that has happened before or is currently happening that you can grasp the knowledge of and pass on to someone. So argument can start from that. The presumptions, they're pretty similar to facts, but they're a little bit broader in generalization, and they're taken hypothetically. So when one statement occupies its ground or position until something else comes along to maybe counteract that or to go against it. So like I said, presumptions are not facts. They're not set in ground. They're kind of like an idea of what would be true, and by having that space to have something take over it kind of goes for it. The other two are probabilities and commonplaces.